Hello. Oh my, y'all been talking for a while already. Hey everybody. Can you hear me? All right, let's get started talking about this story that's been going on. I've seen a couple videos already on YouTube about this, and I know that the various blogs have been talking about it as well. Hey Sade. I did not leave links for this story for y'all in the description box for this topic that we're about to get into tonight, like I usually do, but that is intentional. Hey, thank you, Panthers girl. I wasn't sure if you guys could hear me. Whether or not, this going back to the matter at hand, I'm jumping right in, a la Philip DeFranco. Whether or not this woman and her company intended to engage in outrage marketing, that is what's happening, whether that's what they were trying to do or not. And I want to do my best not to play that game. So, and by the way, I'm not personally outraged, which may surprise or disappoint some of you guys, but we'll get to why that is in a moment. Just know that I don't want to give this lady or her brand any more promotion by saying the company's name. But if you really want to know, consult www.google.com and you will find it in seconds, I'm sure. I think we can talk about this whole story without giving this brand any more free publicity. Hey, everybody. Yeah, so I do have some interview excerpts to provide background on the story in case you don't know what we're going to be talking about. I'll be calling this lady Mackenzie for the purposes of this chat, and I'll just call her brand Bougie Bonnet. Now, Mackenzie, she is selling silk bonnets at an MSRP of $98 US. That's right. They come in 4 colors, including a black one, which is called the Cleopatra. Moving on, this is from the interview that I read, which I believe is how this story started circulating. So Mackenzie came up with the idea for her bougie bonnets after a dermatologist suggested she try sleeping with her hair out of her face to control breakouts. Clips kept falling out, ponytails gave her a headache, and silk scarves, while effective, proved impossible to master. After much consideration, conceptualization, brainstorming, and borderline obsessive research, quote, I literally measured the heads of every person I interacted with, end quote, says Mackenzie. The Bougie Bonnet, a washable silk hair wrap that aims to protect both skin and hair, makes you look like Greta Garbo circa 1930. And it hit the market in March. Now, this is Mackenzie in her own words. My skin was breaking out and I have quite long hair. I like the way it looks the second or third day after washing, so I don't wash it every day. A dermatologist recommended that I sleep with my hair pulled back. Another physician recommended I try silk scarves, and I had fun playing around with them, but they didn't stay on. I'm sure we've all experienced that. There were products on the market, but none of them had a functional and fashionable solution for me. Synthetic fabrics that I felt did more damage, or horrible colors that I felt silly going to sleep in. It inspired me to create something of my own. She goes on to say, I went through tons of different patterns and samples and tests, and it actually took me a lot longer than I would have liked. I wanted something that was adjustable, so I met with and interviewed women who wrapped their hair. Pay attention. I found some women had really short or thinning hair and they slept with their hair wrapped to protect it. And then there are a lot of women who have long hair and hair extensions and weaves. I wanted something that would accommodate long and short hair, that was going to be aesthetically pleasing and made of beautiful materials, and that would merchandise with all of your products on a nightstand. I also wanted to work with an organic, washable silk so people could care for it at home. It's like sleeping in an old dirty t-shirt versus sleeping in silk pajamas. And then she goes on to talk about some other stuff. I think she said something about like having silk scrunchies that I believe are $32 for one scrunchie, okay? And her products are sustainable and zero waste and yada, yada, yada. I shouldn't roll my eyes at that because that is a good thing, but whatever. All those excerpts were from an interview that she did with Fashion Magazine. Now, beyond that, hey, Maria, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. This Barney purple lip. You know, all this news about ASAP Rocky just inspired me to start wearing a lot more red and purple lips. Harper's Bazaar said about this woman, the caps for all the chic moms out here, okay? And then Forbes magazine said her product was among the best the world of wellness has to offer. As you can imagine, Black Twitter went apoplectic on this lady. And you might be surprised to hear this, but I'm not really pissed because I'm just drained. I'm drained by stories happening like this over and over. And I'm not going to waste my energy being angry over stuff like this. Because here's the thing. If you spend $100 on a bonnet, when you can get 20 bonnets for that price at the beauty supply, that's on y'all. Okay? Like, I'm not going to get mad at other people overcharging nor overpaying for something that I was never going to buy. That's A of all. B of all, as far as the outrage over her saying she invented bonnets, based on the interview, and I just read you some of the excerpts, which I think is where like all of this firestorm originated. That's not exactly what she claimed, really. I mean, I do agree there's a lack of acknowledgement and credit given in terms of her process in designing her bonnets, but to claim that she says she invented bonnets is false. I mean, it just is. Being inaccurate only damages our argument, so let's just keep it all the way real. What she says is she created something of her own, right? Okay, since what was already on the market didn't work for her for one reason or another. We are almost certainly past the point of being able to credit one person with inventing sleep bonnets because they're nothing new. That's period, end of sentence. And while I don't think any reasonable person would say that bougie bonnet lady invented anything new, the design of her bonnets does look different to the ones that I've seen and that I'm familiar with. It does look to me like she created a different design for her particular bonnets. It's like if someone invented a new zipper for jeans or something. Like we been had zippers, okay? But if someone created like a zipper that looked different or whatever, then fine. Like you made a twist on a pre-existing thing. You didn't invent it. Is her twist, is this tweak on a regular sleep bonnet worth paying $100? Hell to the nah. And most importantly, no one is making us buy them. Like, I really just think like we can calm down. Like, no one's making us buy these things. I'm certainly not going to. The issue is, we can't also act like these are the same exact bonnets that we see in the ethnic hair care tile at Arget, because that's nonsense. Mackenzie, as I'm calling her, she also knows good and goddamn well that tying our hair up at night is a mainstream part of the lifestyle of Black women. I think she knows that fully well. And the fact is, I'm kind of shocked when I hear a Black woman say she doesn't tie her hair down at night. Like, we pretty much, I would say we're probably well over 80%. I would guess, at least, in the United States. I don't know if maybe there's like different practices wherever you go. But anyway, like, Mackenzie is dead wrong for not acknowledging that properly and publicly. I do think she alluded to it, albeit in like fairly coded ways. Like when she talked about like the synthetic fabrics that weren't good enough for her. I had a hunch she was talking about the polyester and satin scarves that we know all too well from that same ethnic hair care aisle. And when she says she interviewed women who wrap their hair, if that's actually true, I would imagine that Black women would have had to make up the majority of that sample. I mean, I would hope that her sample included Black women, because whether we're talking about TWA hair, waist length 4C hair, 30-inch bundles sewn in, all three of those women who are Black women in this example are going to be tying their hair up at night. And Mackenzie, as we're calling her, knows that perfectly well if she's putting in the research that she claims she did. So even the fact that she went on to say there are a lot of women with extensions and weaves, I feel like that's code. So my gut says her like coded language was just her avoiding being truthful and direct about the fact that she was appropriating from our culture because she just didn't want to be held accountable, I guess. So instead, she's now drawn the ire of the Black community. But as I said, I'm dispassionate about her and about her product. Like, rich people spending $100 a pop on silk bonnets is less than the least of my concerns, quite frankly, when it comes to social inequities. Because This is just another story. You know, there's so many people on the internet with rage boners that just never go down. And they're just waiting for another reason to be mad. But to me, the real reason anyone should be angry about this isn't even Mackenzie or her price tags. Like, I take much greater issue with the way that Harper's Bazaar and Forbes and all these outlets, all of a sudden they're saying that bonnets are chic because some white lady made them. Like, that's where I'm pissed. Sidebar, Forbes has officially jumped the shark. First, they call what's-her-nuts, that Kardashian child, a self-made billionaire. And now this. Like, they've lost all credibility. Anyway, let's just be clear. Anyone can tie up his or her hair at night with a silk scarf if they want to. Like, the issue is, it's the same issue that it always is. It's ghetto when Black people do it, but as soon as it gets appropriated and goes mainstream, then and only then is the stigma removed. Black women who have been wearing bonnets and scarves for decades to protect our boxer braids, we're literally getting banned from being able to pick up our kids at school for doing so because I guess it's not chic when we do it. There's no Greta Garbo tees when a Black woman rocks a headscarf. I'm just really exhausted from hearing stories like this because it's just another disrespect directed at Black women. It's just another Tuesday. And anyway, when it comes to real silk bonnets and scarves and stuff, we don't have to pay $98 and we can get them from Black-owned businesses because they've been around. I mean, I've talked about Pretty Antoinette's on my channel many times before. I bought from her for years. If you're down to spend a little bit more coin than you might do for a bonnet from Walmart, all of her stuff is real silk. And by no means is she trying to rip you off like Bougie Bonnet Lady. And I already put her link in the description box if you would like to check it out. So yeah, that's kind of my stance on it. I watched a couple other YouTubers' videos on it, and I just felt like, I feel like everyone's mad over the wrong thing. Like, I don't care that she's making these bonnets, and I don't care that she's charging $100. And she didn't really say she invented them. Like, not seeing the forest for the trees, in my opinion, in terms of like what the offense is here. April, rage boners. I've been saying that for so long. I started using that term when I would catch a lot of heat doing movie reviews at my old job because people would get so angry because they disagreed with my opinion on a movie. It's like, if you're this upset over me not thinking a movie is good when you like it, you don't have any real problems. I agree with you, Mean Brush Art. I mean, I don't think I've ever really read Forbes because I ain't got no money to begin with. But it just seems like every time I hear about Forbes in the past couple of years, they're putting themselves on the wrong side of history. Queen Unicorn, how do you think she's saying she's invented it? I feel like she's saying that she designed the particular design that we're seeing, but I don't think she ever said, I invented sleep bonnets. Like, I don't think she said that. I read the interview pretty carefully. Yeah, NCA, shame on the news outlets. And as far as her, she should have given credit where credit was due, but she didn't, and whatever. You know, this is all just free publicity for her, and that is why I've made a point not to say her brand name or her company name, because I'm not going to feed into that, you know, the outrage marketing. No, ma'am, not here. Someone actually asked me to do a video on the Kardashians recently, one of their most, I can't remember if it was the kimonos or something else. I can't even remember. But I don't even want to do that because, like, I make it a point to not know what they are up to the best of my ability, and that is harder than it should be. And I certainly don't want to continue to feed into their entire brand is outrage marketing. Thank you, Virginia. Every penny counts. And Angie, you're annoyed that they had a Black model? See, that didn't bother me. I feel like they should. I mean, that's the least they can do is have a Black model, in my opinion. Forbes is a tabloid magazine at this point, Jade. Whitney Smith, that's an interesting idea. Maybe Forbes is also just engaging in outrage marketing, just like everyone else. It seems like that is the most successful way to get buzz these days. It seems like it's either like be Beyonce or be offensive. Thank you again, Maria. Oh, Queen Unicorn. I didn't see that she made a statement because one of the articles I read, they had some post on, it looked like a screenshot from Instagram or something where she apologized. But in that apology I read, she never claimed to have invented it. In fact, she gave the typical, it was almost giving me like, I don't see color tease, where she was just like, well, like many cultures have used head wraps, which, you know, isn't untrue, but it's like, we're not talking about like head wraps, you know what I mean? We're talking about sleep bonnets. And that I feel like is very much cleaved to Black women. See, Pajama Girl, I didn't even see the Black girl on her website. I saw the Black girl in the article where they were doing the interview with her, but I was actually trying to find the Black girl on her web. Maybe I must have like Googled the company name and gone straight to the product page, because in the product pages, she's modeling for every single one. Like I clicked through them all trying to find a Black model, and it was all just her. I'm with you, Carla Cooking Vegan. She's not getting my coin, and I'm gonna move on with my life. I mean, that's on period. She all lives mattered. Her response, Mahogany. That's spot on. That's a great way, because that apology was garbage. I mean, I was never going to buy anyway, so like I don't think I was exactly primed to be super receptive to any apology. But all lives mattered is a great way to describe the sort of like energy behind that apology. Yeah, I agree with you, N.R. Simmons 178. It was wrong of her to rather blatantly borrow from our culture and not directly acknowledge it. Like again, I feel like she was like codedly trying to like hint at it, but it's just like, just give credit where credit is due. You know what I mean? Like if you interviewed all these women, I'm sure if you're doing the work you said you did, a lot of them were Black. And I hope that you fucking paid them consulting fees. Okay, Pajama Girl. So I must have like Googled and then gone straight to a product page and not even looked at the front page. I agree with you, Mean Brush Art. I mean, we talked about this, I think, when I was talking about Mayochella. Like, it's the same old thing. It's lather, rinse, repeat. You know, steal, we get angry, we help promote them even more. That's funny, Tara. Yeah, 277. That's about what a beauty supply store bonnet costs. Nothing more than $5. I agree with you, Sarah. I'm more angry with Forbes and Harper's Bazaar than I am with her. Thank you for the love of juice. Exactly, soybeans. Like that's what I'm like. I put my scarf on tonight specifically because we were going to be talking about this. This little scarf that I got for $1 out of a bin in a thrift store. 100% silk though, by the way. And yeah, like this is ghetto, but her thing is chic and Greta Garbo-esque. Okay, I see how it is. Ebony, we're getting a Harriet Tubman movie? I have not heard about that, but I don't follow movie news anymore. I kind of make a point not to. But as you mentioned, Ebony, like that's the thing. Like that's why I don't want to get angry, because I'm like, this is just a distraction. Like there are much bigger things going on that we should be angry about compared to some lady selling overpriced bonnets. Like who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Bella Natural, I think that's exactly right. I don't think she wanted her demographic, you know, other white women to know that this is something that Black women use and it shouldn't cost anywhere near $100. It's she shea moistured, except she never pretended to be for Black people in the first place. Exactly, Maria. It's hair lingerie. Although, funny enough, the business that I linked you guys in the description box, Pretty Antoinette, I think she refers to her line as hair lingerie because, again, all of her stuff is real silk. So that's funny. It's only validated when someone of a different complexion does it. Jennifer, I'm going to have to look into this Harriet Tubman movie. I knew nothing about it until Ebony mentioned it a moment ago. And who's playing Harriet? Nordstrom collard greens. uh, oh, okay. I don't know who that is. I don't know who Cynthia and Erivo. I'll have to look her up. Yeah, you know, people didn't like David Oyelowo playing Dr. King in Selma either. She's a Broadway actress. That might be why I don't know her. I'm not a Broadway fan. I mean, I like a few Broadway plays, but generally I'm not like a musicals person. Okay, so she was Celie in The Color Purple on Broadway. You see Ray Ray's tail wagging right there? What are you doing down there? She's so funny. She was in Widows. Okay, then I should know her because I did see Widows, although I wasn't really paying attention. It wasn't very good. I think Ray Ray wants to say hi back to you, Sade. She's ready for her WALK. We're going to go actually in a few minutes. I've already had you guys for almost 25 minutes. Yeah, she's British. Okay. So it's kind of like, again, with David Oyelowo playing Dr. King. I see. Do we know who's directing this Harriet Tubman movie? Ebony. Well, Ray Ray is here for all of her stands. Except she never seems to want to be on camera when I'm vlogging or not vlogging. Yeah. Jennifer, because I'm not familiar with her, I'm not really familiar with what comments she made, but I'm going to have to look into this. It's me, Ray Ray is a mutt. She's like 5 different things. She was rescued from the side of the road in a bucket with 3 of her sisters in Watts. And Angie, I agree. I mean, I definitely felt like when I saw the photos of the Black model, it felt like pandering. Or I don't know when they were taken in response to when this uproar began, but it almost seemed like backpedaling if they were posted after people started getting pissed. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Bessie's baby girl. But yeah, it definitely felt insincere. But at the same time, I don't want to stop another Black woman's bag. Like, I'm happy to actually at least see a Black person and see that representation. You know, it's always like conflicted for me. I don't really have no pun intended, I have black and white feelings about that kind of thing. Like, well, yeah, you damn well better put a Black woman on there. But at the same time, like, I sort of know the sort of cynical undercurrent of all that. T-shirts and reverse hair lingerie. Yeah, you know, I looked into I think it was Teespring as promised, and I made an account, but when you're like creating your designs on there, it's kind of hard to make sure it's going to look correct. So I think what I need to do is like just order like samples before I do an actual campaign and start trying to like sell merch. Because you guys know how reticent I am about trying to even do a Patreon or anything where you guys have to pay, because I don't know, like I just don't want anyone to feel like they didn't, I don't want anyone to feel disappointed, I guess. So I need to make sure that everything looks right and like is quality before I actually do like go for it. Me, see, I'm with you. I still haven't seen 12 Years a Slave either, because like it's too emotional, and it's the kind of thing like I remember having 12 Years a Slave on my DVR for so long, and I don't even have channels anymore. Like, so this is really long ago because it was before I unplugged. And it was on my DVR so long, and I just couldn't watch it. Like I couldn't bring myself to watch. I know I need to even. I guess I don't. Like it's a movie, and it's not necessarily going to like tell me anything I don't already know. But I don't know. I feel like it would. The caucasity $2 bonnet with a $96 bill. Thank you, Kira. Yeah, Courtney, I don't doubt that it's not good. Like I'm sure it is. It's just like despite my chilly exterior, I'm an extremely emotional person, and I don't want to get all weepy. Like it's just like what was it? When They See Us? You guys, like I was messed up for a couple, like a good 2 weeks after watching that. Like that was just hard to watch. So anything like that about just, you know, our struggle, it's just hard to watch. And I do think like it's nice to see more things of that aren't about struggle and that are telling our stories or coming out. I do want to see more of that, because it for the longest time it seemed like those were the only stories being told and retold and retold. It's always like drug addicted mama, absentee dad in the hood, like all that kind of stuff over and over and over, or like slavery stories, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, Maria. Yeah, exactly. Like I was like on the verge of tears for several days after watching When They See Us. I'm so glad though that the actor who played Corey, I want to say Jarrell Jerome, if I'm remembering correctly, he has an Emmy nomination. So well deserved. Because I mean, immediately after finishing, I was just like, he deserves an award for this for sure. Like he better get some recognition. Yeah, yeah. Corey's story, Corey got it the worst. Good for you, Brittany. It's about time. I mean, I know some people even have their issues with Us, but I really liked that that movie was about Black people without being about the Black experience, at least not explicitly. Because sometimes, like, someone put it, not that Us is a great example of this because that's not like a fun movie, but it does have its funny moments. But someone put it really well in the comments under my live stream about When They See Us. She said that we need to protect our joy. And I do think there is something to helping to further our own lack of self-esteem as a people, our own internalized racism, by constantly retelling these stories about our own suffering. We need to know these things and we need to remember them, but we need to also see stories of us just having lives. You know what I mean? Like just living, like love stories, comedies, whatever. What are you guys talking about? Plagiarism toy? Plagiarism in her dissertation. I don't know what you guys are talking about. I missed something up thread. Someone stole from LHCF? What is that? Long hair care forum. Wait, you guys talking about plagiarism from long hair care forum? That sounds cool, Maria. Yeah, my brother is a graphic artist, and he definitely has black superheroes in his stuff too. Yeah, I know about Queen and Slim. I'm definitely going to see that when it comes out for sure. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about with plagiarism and long hair care form. Okay. Oops. A white woman took comments from long hair care form and added to her dissertation. Her dissertation on what? Yeah, curly whirly fro. I believe Grace Ellier's exact designs were also ripped off by one of these brands. One of the wig companies that is like constantly sending out product to like black influencers. Her Given Hair, I want to say. Yeah, Jennifer Peterson. I definitely want to see Queen and Slim, but that was actually the caveat I was going to say is like, doesn't look like a fun movie. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see things that have levity to them because it's more like struggle love. So, Toy, you're saying some white lady took information from Long Hair Care Forum for her dissertation. What was her dissertation about that she was able to plagiarize from a black hair care forum? Oh, I remember Black Hair Media back when I was like, back when I was first, I think that's probably partially how I discovered YouTube. It was either Black Hair Media or Long Hair Care Forum, because I haven't looked at either one in so long, years and years. But I remember those being a way to like find natural hair YouTubers. Yeah, Diva Views. I mean, we've seen enough stories of black struggle love. I mean, I'm still going to see Queen and Slim because I want to support and everything, but yeah, like, can't we just like have something, I don't know, a feel good movie, I guess is the term I'm looking for. Yeah, Kayla, that's a great way to put it. Palette cleansers. Hey, stinks bad. All right, it's actually past 6:30 now, so I'm gonna let you guys go because I do have to take Little Miss here to the PARK. I think that's why she was skulking around my chair and wagging her tail, because she knows what time it is. People who say that dogs have no sense of time are incorrect. But always fun to check in with you guys and have these little spontaneous live chats. At the end of the day, don't worry so much about bougie bonnet lady. Just don't buy them. It doesn't matter. And don't promote her by complaining. Like, just don't participate in the free publicity. But always good to see you guys. If anything else crazy happens this week, I'm sure I'll be seeing y'all again. And thank you to everyone for the super chats as well. And I will see you guys again very soon. Bye.